let us continue our adventures in Pillars of Eternity. It's been a little while since I played. I don't remember where I left off. I think I was cleaning up quests in Defiance Bay. So let's look at our quest log and see. I know we have stuff to turn in Copper Lane, and I'm not sure what else. So we may just head to Copper Lane first. I'm not sure yet. Then again, I am in Brackenberry, but I think I completed whatever I had to complete in Brackenberry, though I'm not 100% sure. I'll have a better outlook of where we're going here in a second. Yeah, I think we were gonna go turn stuff in quests over here. Well, I'm not sure.
Hail, traveler.
Maybe to turn in to talk to the... Hey, Tipsy, how's it going, man? What's a little roundhouse kick among friends? Where is this lady? It wasn't the sanitarium, was it? No, I think I'm in the wrong area. Let me just look at the quest log. Heritage Hill. Copper Lane, Copper Lane. Return to Thrystwin in Brackenberry. At the Brackenberry Inn. Okay, so we did go to the wrong area. Yeah. I haven't been to sleep yet. I figure I'll stream for a few hours. That'll get me wound down enough to get some sleep. I'm more of a night person, though. I tend to be more awake at night than I am during the day. Looking for the inn. I assume that's going to be the Charred Barrel. Oh, assassin spotted. They better have sent more than one, or else they're in for a world of hurt. Where is the assassin? Oh, there we are. And they did send more than one. Smart. Oh, they sent a whole bunch. They are weak, though. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've been like that since high school. I have an easy time sleeping during the day, but at night, it's just difficult for me. Can't shut my mind off is a big part of it.
Can't get a good shot with this.
Oh, these guys are killing them so faster than I could issue commands.
Let's go.
Anything good, at least? No, but they have a note. Alright, so let's head to the charred barrel. Yeah, that makes sense. Too bad they're in my, I can't... In my area where I live, there's not exactly, it's not a city or anything, so there's no way I could possibly, get a night job or a night shift doing what I do.
Yeah.
It's just something I have to deal with. I get my 5 hours on average sleep a night, sometimes more, sometimes less, and then every couple of months it catches up to me, and I'll sleep like almost a whole weekend away. Do nothing but sleep.
Good day, stranger.
Yes, I got it. Thirstwind's eyes are as wide and round as the artifact in his hands. You've given my people a gift we couldn't possibly repay. I'll do the best I can, though. He shoves a bag of coin into your hands. This is everything I have. Take it, please. No, I'm not benevolent. My order of knights is kind of a mercenary order of paladins who work for money, so... You'll always be an honored guest among the Shattering Spear. Farewell. He hurries out of the inn, his fancy cloak dragging on the ground. Twin Elms Minor Positive. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Night owls definitely have a harder time. All right. So let's go to Copper Lane. Have a bunch of quests to turn in there as well. Hey, thank you for the host, Jungler Dodge. Appreciate it, man. Just playing some Pillars of Eternity. Some good old school computer role-playing game. Yeah, the walking eyeball taco is kind of cool looking.
Sure.
Okay, I know I have something to turn, a quest or something to turn into Adnath's Den. So let's head up that way. So what were you streaming, Jungler Dodge? Oh, League of Salt. Yeah. Alright, let's head inside, and I think the guy is in here where I could turn in the breastplate quest. I assume Chrome is like... Is Chrome a ranking? I haven't played League of Legends or most MOBAs other than Heroes of the Storm, so I'm not familiar. I know there's like Platinum and Silver and all this, so I assume Chrome is some sort of ranking. Let's see, I think the guy I'm looking for is named Osric. He's here somewhere. There he is. Is this the armor you wanted? Osric wavers a moment in disbelief. He looks at you, then back at the breastplate. He reaches for it slowly, as if expecting it to disappear before he could touch it. How did you manage this? You were right about the affidavit. Unfortunately, Penhelm forced me into a fight. A shame it ended like that, but he's the lying weasel who started this. You did all I asked, and you're owed much. He withdraws a leather coin purse from his pocket, and hands it to you. Stop by Solnid's shop on the other side of the hall. She sells some of the best gear in the city, and I'll see that she opens her inventory to you. Dozens moderate positive, Defiance Bay minor positive. What is this armor to you anyways? Osric looks around, trying to appear casual. It's nothing really. Just a keepsake. He tries to look you in the eye, but when he does, he appears to reconsider. He sighs. It commemorates the Order of Magrin, highest order of valor. Kira Kitty, stop getting into stuff. Awarded to the dead, never the living. Us Dear Woodens, real Dear Woodens, we don't have nobility or birthrights unless you're some copper fucker from Ader. All we got's this honor we bring to our family name. The Order of Magrin is, well, they don't give it out too much. Not often you see a member of the dozens whose revolutionary ties are as good as he says they are. So this, he pauses, considering the weathered metal, a pale image of its former self, but still catching light, is something to live up to. And I think I'm done with him. Another quest completed. Kira, stop getting into stuff. Oh yes, I am IT sysadmin. You could tell by the broken spirit in my face, especially since it's education IT. I have not heard that acronym. Oh, turn it on, turn it on. Yeah, turn it off, turn it back on again. It's amazing how that fixes 90% of problems,
Right.
And yet it's never tried before they contact us. Okay, so we're done. Well, let's check out what goods this lady has. Yeah, this weekend was our 3-day Memorial Day weekend, and who's the only stupid son of a bitch in the entire school system working on their 3-day weekend? Me, because something had to be changed in preparation for Tuesday, and we just found out Thursday, and it was a sign I could take down during production. So one person in the entire school district, working on their 3-day weekend.
Gods keep you.
Sucker born every minute, and that's me. Has to be done, though. I guess. Alright, I think I'm done here. Oh, credit union. Is it, you enjoy it? I mean, IT can be brutal on anybody. It doesn't matter if it's education, financial, what have you. But it's not really the job that's grading. It's more the users than anything else.
So many ruins to uncover, places to see.
Indeed. Though after 5 years, I'll be ready for a break.
It is true.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have been at it far longer than I.
I'm
Where will you go
42.
next, when you have all the world
I
to choose
worked after high school.
of course.
I did a little bit of education in electronics. I worked in electronics
Yeah.
contract manufacturing for about 5 years, and then I've been in IT ever since. So I've been in IT a long time too, and I wish I could sell my body for money. I would do it in a heartbeat. Better in IT. Oh, I have other quests out this way. Delivered a package to Gareth and Valiant Trading Company in Defiance Bay. Valiant Trading Company. I should probably read that quest. Deliver the package to Gareth in Copper Lane. He's at the Goose and Fox. Okay. Yep, that sounds like an IT team. all in poor, failing health. Mostly diabetic. Most of them diabetic. I guess I shouldn't say that. Our network staff, they're always on the go because there's so many different school sites. So the network team's pretty fit. It's the server team that sits on their ass all day, like me. That's not. Okay, so who am I looking for here? Gareth, I believe. A man skulks near the bar. He seems like he's trying to blend with the wood paneling, and he watches the other patrons out of the corner of his eye. He gives you a quick nod as you approach. What do you do here? Yeah, I'm just minding my own business. Maybe I should ask some of these other patrons what that business is. My character leans towards rational and stoic, so I'm going to go with the rational choice. Gareth's nervous eyes dart around the room. Keep it down, will you? I really am here to do business, but it's the kind of thing that requires discretion. And unless some mutual friend has sent you to me, that's all I've got to say on the subject. Alright.
Well met, friend.
I have a delivery for you. He glances around, snatches the pouch from you. Glad Verzano finally picked someone with a bit of discretion. Guess he's finally realized the dominoes are onto him. He tucks the pouch away. You tell Verzano that this is the last time I'm buying from him. This is getting too dangerous for me. What did the dominoes have to do with this? You have no idea, do you? Let's just say the dominoes have exclusive rights to trade certain merchandise within the city. Verzano likes to make some extra coin from time to time by dealing in the same merchandise, undercutting the competition, he says. Tell me what... Well, are we done? Yeah, we're done. Now get out of here before... Uh-oh, too late. More enemies that I could slaughter. A woman swaggers in, her polished boots thwacking the floor with slow, deliberate steps. A crooked sneer warps her smooth face. Gareth, I'm hurt. You promised to buy only from me. What's a girl to think? Gareth bows, his knees knocking together. Please, milady. I'm surprised he doesn't tip a fedora. I was just explaining that I don't do business with anyone else. Except this one last time, right? Dana crosses her arms and rocks back on her heels. There's always one more deal, until you run out of credit, that is. Dana turns and regards you, looking you up and down. And just who are you? You don't exactly look like a seed dealer. Holy God. You know, you mentioned diabetes. I didn't know it had gone that far for some of the people, though. Oh, man. Yeah, I can, I mean, I've been overweight my entire life, so I've never been the picture of health, but the stress of work is killing me. I'm going to have to do something. I mean, I've got 13 years till I can retire from the school system. I'm not going to survive 13 years in the server department. It's the grind. They just keep layering more and more stuff on you and not getting you any help. It's just, it's getting brutal. Thanks for the follow, Jungler Dodge. And just... Aloth glances at Gareth. I think that's a compliment. I'm just going to stay silent. Stoic is what I do. You've got pluck, but don't try to hold out on me, especially not when I'm inclined to let you off the hook. Verzano put you up to this thing. That old fool's on a sinking ship, and he's determined to drag anyone who gets close enough down with him. She eyes the trembling Gareth. Gareth here knew better, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. In fact, I'll also give you a chance to get even with the imbecile who's been playing us both. What do you say to killing Verzano? I'm not a murderer for hire. Why would I want to do that? Why wouldn't you? He's used you to do his dirty work, and without telling you anything about what you were carrying, or who you were crossing. She taps a finger to her jaw, and her voice slows. Of course, I'd also consider it a personal favor, and House Domino's never stingy with its friends. She glances at Gareth, the loyal ones anyways. I've already pissed off House Domino a few times by doing other quests. There was a quest where I had to turn in a letter or something like that to one or two people, and I turned it into the first person I came across, which in turn was like the enemy of House Domino. So I've already started irritating House Domino, getting on their bad side. I don't know whether to be relieved or insulted. We're one of the wealthiest merchant families in Defiance Bay. Let's just say, however, that some of our business practices are not officially sanctioned. I'll decide his fate when I talk to him again. You'd better make up your mind quickly, because we're going to pay him his dues one way or the other. Just make sure you stay out of our way. Let's see if I could solve this reasonably and amicably between the two sides. Do I have anything else to turn in Copper Lane? Okay, the Hall of Revealed Mysteries in Copper Lane. Let's head there. Hey Tipsy, I saw you were playing Titan Quest Anniversary Edition the other day. How are you liking it? I've played Titan Quest Immortal Throne and the original Titan Quest before they added Immortal Throne. I haven't played Titan Quest Anniversary Edition nor Ragnarok expansion as of yet. I loved it back in the day. I actually preferred it to Diablo 2 in a lot of aspects. Though obviously Diablo 2 was more popular. Or was it out around closer to Diablo 1? Either way, I really liked Titan Quest. Haven't given the Anniversary Edition a chance yet, though. I just love the Greek mythology setting. You know, I guess that's kind of why, you know, out of all the Age of games Microsoft produced, Age of Mythology was always my favorite, just because of the mythological aspect to it. But I'm a sucker for ancient myth. Greek, Norse. Love it all. Yeah, it was. Haven't played I think they remastered Age of Mythologies or what have you. Never played that. Yeah, there's so many games I want to play, but there's so little time. Okay, looks like the druid is back with the St. Ifan's Knot quest done. In Ymgrel, Heravis met with the priests of Abaddon to discuss the mystery of who had stolen the Smith's Hall artifacts and for what purpose. During the investigation, a quirky priest of Whale lent the group his bizarre form of help. Answers to these riddles posed as different riddles. After tracking down each stolen artifact through a series of additional clues, Heravis and the priest of Abaddon realized that the priest of Whale was the thief. Very pleased with himself, he had no objection to being captured and sent the Earl of Ymir for punishment. When Heravis left the priests of Abaddon, they were still trying to determine the point of the theft. Alright. So, nothing overly. Oh, my money's... I had to give like 6,000 of my copper pans for a quest. I've definitely made it back, though. Alright, let's see. This quest. So I have to find my way to the Elder Archives. I think this is the one I need to make nice. If I want to do it legit, I need to make nice with the head Grimda. It's been a while since I saved. I better save.
Hail, traveler.
Grimda glances down her spectacles, ever inquisitive, I see. An animancer named Nedin asked me to retrieve the theorems of Pangrum from the Elder Archives. Grimda's impressive frown deepens. Thank you for letting me know. I'll be sure to tuck that tome away from prying eyes and see that this Nedin never sets... What? Maybe I thought she would allow me entrance. Oh well. C'est la vie. In the meantime, here, a token of our appreciation. Defiance Bay, minor positive. Is this what we wanted? To see her barred entirely? It seems a fearsome price to pay. Knowledge dangled just out of reach makes a tempting prize for any soul. Well, I didn't mean to... I was actually thinking of trying to get that. I thought maybe if I got on Grimda's good side or asked her for it. But nope. Okay, what else do I have in Copper Lane? That's the Endless Paths. Endless Paths. Okay, that's Catacombs. Kill Halig. Okay, let's go do that. I didn't like that guy anyways. He was evil. So I don't like how I'm completing some of these quests, but this quest I have no problem killing this necromancer. My party's level 8. Are they all level 8? Yes, okay. Wonder if I'm going to get any more party members or if this is it. You would think by this point this is probably it. But I haven't explored all the outline areas either. So maybe there's some... Like I picked Durance and the Druid guy up in the outline area. I'll make sure to do that, Tipsy. Hey, we all gotta help each other, right, man? Yeah, I got that. We don't stand on formality here. Couple grammatical errors, not a big deal. We're not concerned overly much. When I say we, I mean the royal we. Good, the Shackler leaves the stronghold. I didn't want him there anyways. I don't hold much truck with slavers. Okay, so let's save the game here, because we're about to go through a pretty big fight. Oh, well, it's only 3 revenants. It's probably not going to be that bad. I spoke to Mordred. He doesn't have your grimoire. Halig lets out a bubbling hiss of frustration. There's not much fun in a joke if you have to explain it is there. He tugs a few hairs out of his beard. If you can't fulfill my need for vengeance, then you'll have to serve another purpose. A dried and shriveled tongue darts over his crackled lips. I'm afraid a fierce hunger was awakened along with me. Okay, so everybody attack him, but you two focus on the Revenant. Oh, hi, Lilo. You gonna come spend some time with Daddy? You can focus on him. Actually, go there, and you go there. You focus on him, you focus on him.
Hey.
Okay, so you, I want to Flames of Devotion him. You knock him down. You do your priest stuff. You keep attacking, and you can start casting some spells. Let's cast that again. Killing this stuff so fast, I'm constantly having to change who I'm attacking. Okay, it looks like everybody's dead except for this guy. Pretty sure I already searched this room. Yeah. Fine scepter, fine robe. Soulward amulet could be good. The soul prowls within this bloodstone like a caged Stelgar. It's filled with a fierce, restless energy. Who are you? You see an image in your mind of a woman in heavy leather armor bearing twin daggers. Next to her is a man, young and handsome, who calls her Ronya. The vision shifts to a windswept plain next to a lake. 50 men and women in matching leathers lay dead, their bodies contorted and deformed by some sinister sorcery. Ronya falls among them, her body collapsing next to the young man you saw earlier. She's too weak to speak, but the name Dalton appears in your mind. A lone figure strides across the battlefield, barely bothering to step over the corpses. His eyes are filled with an unnatural light and fixed on Ronya. He reaches out to her, and what little life remained in her body departs. When he takes the amulet from around her neck, you feel her anguished soul trapped within. With a final contemptuous glance at the fallen Dalton, the man departs. Dalton sent me to find you. The soul pulses with warmth. It fills your mind with memories of a young man who's both bold and generous. But fury and despair gnaws those images away until all you can feel are cold crimson walls pressing against you and something loathsome feeding off you as the years fade into decades. What do you want? You see an image of the amulet shattering and soul inside rising and dissipating among the stars. Alright. Return to Dalton and Copper Lane. Will do. Grimoire goes to the caster. That stuff can go to there. So it doesn't look like... Looks like that amulet is going to be a quest item, actually, since it... Okay, so I can learn Ray of Fire and Conceal Hot's Draining Touch. Alright, cool deal. Okay, to there. Alright. So it must be a quest item. Let's take a look. Yeah, it is a quest item. Alright, so let's go turn this into Dalton. Easy enough. I reached a point in the Endless Paths dungeon where I was under-leveled for where I was trying to go, and it actually explicitly told me that. I wonder if... I think I did that at level 6, whereas I'm level 8 now. I wonder if I'm still considered under-leveled for that region. I may actually check that out after I turn in some more quests and do some more exploring. Dalton, I believe, was right in that area. Got the little puppy dog following along my party. There he is. Let's go ahead and save.
Good day, stranger.
His tired eyes brightened. Did you find her? Show him the amulet. Yes, but not as you expected. The old man studies the amulet. Ronya used to wear this. Where did you get it? From Halig, who's kept her soul trapped inside it for decades. It's time to set her free. Benevolent. Yeah, let's do that. Dalton's eyes widen in horror. No, please. After searching for her for so long, he gazes at the amulet. Just to have her close to me, to visit her in my dreams, that would be enough. Perhaps she found you now so that you could finally say goodbye. I like the resolved response. It leaves him the option. Dalton's expression withers. You're right. Please, let me do it. Good, that's what I was hoping would happen. That don't leave it up to me to set her free. You know, you two were the together ones, so let you deal with it. He draws a club with a trembling hand and crushes the amulet. As the gem cracks, you feel essence rush from it. The old man looks at the shattered gemstone. Thank you for showing me reason. Perhaps she'll wait for me in the next life. He looks at his hands, shaking. By the flame, she won't have to wait long. Please, take this. He hands you the club. It's from my old adventuring days. I think it's time I finally let them go. Defiance Bay, moderate positive. Alright, what did he give me? Unique club, one hand. Can anybody make use of that? I don't think it's as good as this from a damage perspective. No, it is not. It's not as good as the saber from a damage perspective. He uses a quarterstaff. And all these guys are ranged, so I just don't have anybody that could really use this. Okay, that's fine. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Okay, let's look at the quests again. Return to Caed Nua. I could do that. Return to Verzano and Orandra's Gift. Anslog's Compass. I could do that one. And then I have Heritage Hill quests. But then I also have some tasks. Heritage Hill, I got a task and a quest. Oh, I've got to go to Brackenbury Sanitarium again. Okay, so... I think I'm done in this area. Yeah. So let us actually head to Brackenbury Sanitarium. I forgot to turn in a quest to Nans, or a task, I should say. Just trying to clean up the quest log a little bit. Then we'll go to Ondra's Gift. Then maybe Heritage Hill. I don't know, I kind of want to go out into the wilderness and explore some too. Return to... Okay, so after this we'll go to Ondra's Gift and go back to Verzano. So I'm looking for Nans. There they are.
How do you do?
An elderly woman peruses the shelves with a quickness and an energy that belie her age. I'm afraid I don't practice anymore, child. Too busy with my research. What do you do here? I'm an animancer. Used to venture on all kinds of underfunded and ill-fated trips out of the expedition hall when I was your age, but lately, I've found research better suited to my current pace. She pats a creaking knee and laughs. Nan regards you with bright, intelligent eyes. Can I help you with something else? I'd like to know more about the sanitarium. It's the official center of animancy in Defiance Bay, founded in 2729. And before you get saucy, no, I wasn't around at the time. It was built to treat ailments of the mind and soul, important sort of place to have in a growing city, and its construction marked the end of the animancy slowdown that followed the Bellreach incident. The Bellreach incident? She shakes her head. A terrible setback for the discipline. A researcher working outside the Bale Marsh shattered the souls of a dozen volunteers. Her voice lowers to a growl. Of course, we'll never know exactly what went wrong because the mob tore him to pieces. This mishap bears some of the blame for the slower pace of research in the 2.5 decades that followed, but it also helped concentrate practicing animancers here in Defiance Bay. What do you know about awakenings? Not much, I'm afraid, but the sanitarium attracts experts from all over. I'm sure someone here can help you out. Imadol sent me. He said you'd be interested in these scepter pieces we found. That chatty old fishwife's been blabbing about me, I see. She laughs and rolls her eyes. Never trust your secrets to a man with so much salt in his beard. Anyways, let's see what you've got. Nans examines the scepter, her eyes hooded by crinkled flesh. Imadol told you true. I'll buy this. Unfortunately, a broken scepter isn't as valuable as he may have led you to believe. She steals a glance at your face, but her fingers tighten around the pieces in her hands. I'll take it off you for 500. Lore 4. Nonsense. This could easily be repaired by someone with the proper skills. Her eyes flash under their sagging lids. I've got the skills all right, and you know more than the average relic hunter, I see. Making it whole again is a matter of alchemy. Expensive alchemy. I've got to soak the broken ends in fiend's blood compound to reconnect them. Never mind the embalming work to restore the enchantments. She eyes you. I could do it to the tune of 1,800 pans. Resolve 13. I've given you a rare opportunity to work with an Engwithian scepter. Surely you could bring the price down. It's barter. We've got to give and take a little here. Aye, perhaps if you want to bargain and haggle with every Dragonblood vendor and imporn merchant in the city. She puffs her sagging cheeks. Very well, you can have the satisfaction of working an old woman to the early grave for only 1,500. 1,500 it is. I expect you'll want to watch and see that your money's put to good use. Better get comfortable then. She lays out an array of powders, potions, and other obscure ingredients on her desk. After what feels like hours, she returns to the main hall with you and presents the scepter. Looking at it, you'd never know it had been broken in the first place. This may be the finest work I have ever done, if I may say so, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. Examine a piece like that is a dream come true for someone in my field. She gazes at it wistfully. Take good care of it. I've gained an Engwithian scepter, and it's added to my inventory. Farewell. Let's take a look. Who uses a scepter? I believe he does, but he's got one that he is using. I'm wondering if I could... Oh, it's not even a rare. I'm just going to put it in my stash. Okay, let's Now we're going to return to Verzano and Andra's gift. Halfway through the level almost. Andra's gift. Let's go. Hey, kitty. Valiant Trading Company. Actually, it's quicker inside this door. Kitty. Don't cause trouble, Kira. Kira kitty.
Good day, stranger.
We're able to deliver the package? Yes, but now the Dominoes want you dead. If you told me the Dominoes were after you, you could have saved us both a lot of trouble. My character's rational and stoic, so that's what we'll go with. The Dominoes were there? Verzano's eyes fly open and he tugs at his beard. I was so careful, always following the Verla Vita. They couldn't have known. Uh-oh, here comes the Dominoes.
Well, well. Is this your last day among the living, Verzano?
Kira, come on. Get away from the computer. Come on, stop. Go lay down, huh? Your timing is impeccable, Tella Gina. The Dominoes are after me. Please, you've got to stop them.
As if any of this were ever in my hands. The Republic's considered your business worth protecting based on its success. That success depended on cooperation with the locals, like House Dominel. You've lost that. And the favor of the Dukes.
Let's go diplomatic and not interrupt.
Even if you get out of this alive, they're done with you. The Dukes have more pressing interest in Defiance Bay than rescuing one merchant who threw himself overboard.
Verzano falls to his knees and clasps his hands together. Have mercy, Palagina. I don't stand a chance against the Dominoes. He bites a trembling lip. I've brought failure and shame on myself, but you can't mean to watch your countrymen die like a dog.
Verzano. Why are you wasting your precious breath on me? My orders come through the ambassador, and through the ambassador from people you should be honored ever gave a moment's thought to whether you live or die. You don't seem like the sort to petition the gods to keep him out of hell. So why not cry mercy to the one person in this room with the power to grant it?
She turns her attention to you and raises her feathered eyebrows expectantly. I don't like the Dominoes. I'm already on their bad side, so let's just protect Verzano. Palagina drops her gaze and lightly shakes her head from side to side. Moments later, she turns her eyes to the ceiling in amused disbelief.
Verzano, You have a saint looking out for you after all.
She strides across the room and takes the already nervous Verzano's head in her feathered hands, a gesture that seems to hover in a dangerously narrow space between caressing and crushing.
Just don't come knocking on the embassy door. Understand?
Verzano replies with a rapid, weak series of nods. Palangina nods back once and gives his face a light slap.
Do as you will. He's no longer my concern.
Donna saunters through the door, flanked by a squad of Dominal foot soldiers. She lets her gloved hand rest on the hilt of her weapon. A sneer curdles on her face as she looks at you. It seems I was wrong to overlook your blunder. Rest assured I never make the same mistake twice. Okay, so he will knock down... Wait. It's hard to target. He will knock down her. He will do that. He will attack him. He will attack him. He will attack him. He will attack him. And he will use that. Okay, let's knock this person down again. Flame's Devotion. This person again. Let's use, Okay, everybody, just attack this guy. He wipes the sheen from his forehead and looks around the warehouse with wide, fearful eyes of a hunted animal. I can't thank you enough, Amico, but this won't stop the Dominoes for long. I've got to get out of here, and I recommend that you do too. He hands you his pistol and gives you a bag of coin with shaking hands. That's all I have after this ill-fated venture. Thank you again, and please, look out for yourself.
Huh?
Find dagger, find rapier. A grimoire goes to him. And find mail armor. All gets stashed. Let's see what happens to this lady. Oh, she's not even there. Alright, so... Ooh, a two-handed pistol. This is... Okay, so it is a pistol. What is his attributes, though? Does he have... Weapon-focused soldier. Well, that doesn't focus on his weapon type that he's using. But this is probably so much better. Let me take a look. They're both very slow. Equivalent damage. Plus 20% attack speed. Oh yeah, it's not even a comparison. This is a much better weapon. Let's go ahead and enchant it with what we can. Accurate one. Freezing Lash. Alright. So we got a nice new weapon for him. Oh, something's up here. Taxes collected. Okay. Am I still building something? I think I am. Finished in 1 day is 14 hours. Okay, let's see. Ancelot's Compass, Caed Nua. Let's see what tasks I have left. Heritage Hill. Don't feel like going to Heritage Hill though. I think I'm gonna take a break from Defiance Bay now. Oh, that's right. There was also a grimoire for him to learn stuff from. Let's see. I've gone to Wooded Plains. I've gone to Stormwall Gorge. I've gone to everywhere up here except for Cragholt Bluffs. I have a quest for Caed Nua. I haven't explored Syrian Falls yet. But there was something in Woodend Plains, I think, that I want to go back to and explore. So let's head there. I may not have the item I need to do what I would like. I know I didn't on my way in, but maybe through all the questing I acquired the quest piece I needed. This isn't even the right zone that I'm thinking of. It must be Stormwall Gorge. There's some sort of Ingwithian artifact on the ground that you could do things with, and it has an indentation for an item. This thing. I want to go here and take a look at it. See if I could do anything with it now. Oh, here's the seal over here. Bright sun casts its light on a pattern on the ground. You kneel to take a better look. Continue. The stone here has been carved with a few simple shapes. A small circular indentation marks the center, and a much larger circle surrounds it. You see what appears to be writing above the two circles. Examine the writing. Characters are completely foreign to you, no doubt the remnants of some long-forgotten language. Looks like there's a moon, and there's a sun, and there's something else. Wait a while. You wait for a few hours, marking the sun's journey across the sky. Wait a while. You wait for a few hours, watching as the stars wink and glow overhead. Look at the circular indentation. Examine the writing. Examine the outer circle. Training grounds construction complete. Alright, so let's build something else. Let's restore the lab inside Bright Hollow. The star illuminates a pattern in the ground. You kneel to get a better look. The stone here is... examine the writing. Well, it doesn't seem like I can do anything with this still. Maybe I just have to come back. Let's go take a look at Syren Falls. We have not been. And if you've watched me stream, I'm anal retentive about clearing out the fog of war. Every little bit of fog of war that I can, I have to clear out. A supplicant from Deerford Village. Send escort. Let's send him. Oh. Let's see how this goes. These are young drakes. This is just a regular drake. Drake has a lot of hit points. My party's holding its own, though. Already took out that drake. Let's summon our own set of drakes.
Yeah.
Not too bad. We're able to handle that just fine. Oh, we're not done. I couldn't find the Zorup among the Zorup among the chaff.
Yeah.
Nothing much there.
Sure.
Okay. Let's make a big square around everything here. Take out the priest.
That's it!
Zorbs are easy. Oh, that's cool looking. Just in case I can unlock any attaching zones. Young Drake. Not a young Drake. Okay, so let's do this. You knock down the big Drake. You fires the devotion the big Drake. You focus on the big Drake. You focus on the smaller Drake along with your wolf. And you use the shield. You keep attacking the Drake. You attack the Drake along with your wolf. Because you get such a good damage bonus from it.
Good shot with the... Can't get a...
Hi?
That's it!
Okay, summon your Drakes. You attack the young Drake. You too. You can attack the young Drake as well. Flame Blight.
Reluctant, stand still!
No problem.
Will be made on Ansawu.
See Pearlwood Bluff. That's probably where that one guy is for the quest that's on the hill overlooking the ocean.
Will they not?
Oh, that's twitchy.
On sorrow.
Yeah, it was kind of freaking out. It was kind of weird. Then again, these type of games with their auto pause mechanism, sometimes that happens. When you kill the blobs, sometimes the blobs like go expanding, taking up like half the screen in their death throes. I don't know if it's due to the auto pause mechanic or just a glitch with the graphics on the blobs, but yeah, occasionally there's some glitchy, weird stuff going on. Alright, so far these drakes aren't really much of a problem.
Will they not? That's it.
Zorix, please. Definitely not a problem. Oh, gunshot to the head to end it. More drakes.
Will they not? Let's go.
Not gonna waste any spells on a single young drake. Okay, so there's a cave there. Let's finish exploring the Fog of War before we go. Soot darkens the lip of the cavern. Been a while since I saved.
Will they
Young Drake, young Drake, young Drake. Easy enough.
not? Sorrow.
You focus on the far young Drake. You too. You knock down this Drake. Flames of Devotion this Drake. Okay. Bounding missiles, why not? Get this over quicker. Huh, somehow I charmed that young Drake. That was weird. Not intentionally. Okay, so let's just explore this middle area, clear out the Fog of War. Might be a dragon in the center area. I better save. All these drakes surrounding. Could be something worse in the middle.
Slow and silent.
The tunnel burrows into the depths as far as the eye can see. The crystal waters are perfectly transparent.
Ansawu.
I'm on the trail.
Okay, it looks like we're all cleared out on the fog war, so let's go take a look at the cave. Let's use a campfire. No, let's hold off on the campfire. It's not too desperately needed right now. Let's see what's inside the cave. Oh, this doesn't look promising. Lots of lava and fire. Oh, this is the cave from Frigga's Cinders of Faith. Okay, so this is for that. No. Well, maybe. Let's be realistic. Very possibly. I don't know. My party feels pretty strong. The only thing that's made me question my party's strength has been the Endless Paths dungeon so far. But maybe, I don't know. So this is a quest that I end up having to bring back to Defiance Bay.
Whatever beast comes upon us here will find us already cooked.
Rippling waves of heat rise. Cool looking place though. Small flame blights aren't a problem. Absorb champions aren't either.
Get shot with this.
This isn't.
Well, so far nothing dangerous, but with this being a fire cave, I get the feeling there'll be like a fire-breathing dragon at some point.
Steady does it.
Oh. Let's go ahead and do a camping supply, I think, since I just got 4. That'll allow me to use one and still have 3 in case of emergency. You awake to see Durance, his staff held in both of his hands before him. A flame flickers at its top end, casting long shadows across his face as he stares in contemplation. Still, for all the light of the fire, your eyes can't focus on him. Perhaps it is awakening from sleep, or the trick of the light, but he seems indistinct, blurred around the edges, everything except for the staff. The staff, he seems to be studying its engravings. As you watch, the engravings glow thinly red, like through the cracks of heat-suffused wood. The lines stream like molten metal, burning along the edges of his staff, then branch out in an intricate series of fiery veins, bunching thickly where his hands clutch the wood, pulsing as if in a heartbeat. As you watch, the veins spiral into a dozen separate circles, Circles that spiral again until they are arranged in a circle of their own. They pulse, wait, and all is strangely silent. And then suddenly there's a great light from the fire, a rushing of air, a great flash, and you awaken again to see Durance in the same place, still holding his staff. He is solid real. He doesn't seem to have noticed you, or reacted to what occurred. Discuss vision with Durance. Okay, let's save. Don't exactly trust Durance. He's kind of a weird cat. And what must you say now? I had questions I wanted to ask you.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door.
I saw something strange. You were sitting by the fire, and I saw a great light from your staff.
Tell me what you saw.
It was a flash like an explosion, a rushing of air, incredibly bright.
It is the light of the Godhammer you saw.
The Godhammer? What about it?
It was a weapon of Deerwood's people, a symbol of their independence. It saved the Deerwood.
What do you know about it?
It brought the Saints' War to an end, knocked a god from his perch. There are few that would deny Eothas overstepped. The Godhammer reminded Eothas of it. You saw its light because I helped shape it, give it life, and release it into the world. Once seen, its glory is almost too bright to be believed, and too bright to be forgotten.
You helped build the Godhammer?
There were 12 of us. We fashioned the weapon, drafted plans for it, prayed for guidance at Ashfall, and it came to me there. Each of us were given a staff made from the forest of black trees around us, glowing with embers and fire far greater than this branch you see now. It felt as if the staff was Margaren's own finger, guiding my hand, guiding the other 11, the shadows of the 12 who had come to stand on the bridge to stop Eothas.
Shadows of the 12?
Even in that stand, there was a ritual to it. For the 12 that stood on the bridge, there were a dozen shadows cast, a dozen faithful of Margren, her fiercest supporters and shapers of the Godhammer.
Durance rests his staff in front of him, and the flame atop it curls for a moment, the light flaring slightly. It splits into a ring of flames, one after the other, until a dozen is met.
As 12 held Eothas fast, we 12 unleashed our prayers and let the Godhammer fall.
Then it blossoms brightly, once, and resumes its candle intensity. In the aftermath, the shadows seem sharper in the vicinity, as if they have edges, and you blink to clear your vision. Durance is still staring at the tiny candle-like flame intently.
Shadows cast by the fire of the Godhammer, perhaps. They shared their fate as well in time. Now the spine of the Deerwood is marked by the Godhammer. Marked by Margaret.
What do you mean, shared their fates?
Not all deaths come with stilled breath and stilled heart, or other stilled passions beneath the waste. Some deaths come from silence. The connection we once shared with Margaret. After the light of the Godhammer, it was not the same. It was as if we'd lost our senses, and sense of purpose as well. Instead of victory, being welcomed, there was silence, within and without. Not many can claim to have killed a god. It is less a heroic tale than you would think. And such a death, it changed our faith. All faiths, I expect. Doubt followed, and the world changed. I do not believe Margren was pleased by what we had done.
Why is that?
The world is broken. The wheel stilled. There is sickness in the world's heart. Perhaps the price of crossing a god. Crossing two gods. Even as Margaret shaped our hands, perhaps we carried her will farther than was allowed. Just as Widewind did. Saint Widwen. Mortal arrogance to match mortal arrogance. Yet if the world had changed, then I sought to change with it. If I had forgotten some of Margaret's teachings, I would find them again. I would make her see me again.
What did you do? What did you do?
I remembered Margaret's teachings. How reminders on the flesh were more important than the death of a vessel. And I wondered if killing Aethys, if that had simply set him free. Had it allowed him to escape his punishment and be taken on the wheel? Like a mortal? As I stepped from the now blessed Godhammer Bridge, I thought of Ashfall. I thought of the War of Black Trees. Wondered if I needed to be burned to find myself again. That is Margaret at her heart. At least that is my hope. These are the doubts that befall me.
What happened to you? What happened when you returned to Ashfall?
The road to Ashfall is long. Gives one time to think. If you think long enough, you do not go home. I left without telling anyone, with only the robes I wore at Halgot, my staff, and my name, which is long buried. Of my fellow 11 craftsmen, disciples, I know not what happened to them, if they suffered the same doubt as I did. But
This guy's got major issues with
Undeserved.
his god.
it was wrong. We had done all that. Oh, had asked. Grab victory from defeat and
You feel as if your god has betrayed you?
there is something about being used and cast aside. Perhaps Widwen himself felt it. There at the end, when the hammer struck. To be the proof that your god is hollow as the vessel it inhabits. I tried to find purpose, and avoided all contact with other Magranic priests. Did not seek the walls of Ashfall, and sought to make amends to my god through actions. I joined with the Purges for a time, and not long after came the first signs of the Hollowborn. So many crimes, trespasses, violations. The Salvation. Animances were another sickness born of the Saints' War. A relapse of innovation, of desperation to heal what we had caused. All seemed worse than before the bridge, not better. And as years passed, the world became even worse still for the victory.
So, being stoic and rational, I'm going to go with number 1 and number 5. I like number 1, but number 5 seems like it would affect Durance more. So let's go with number 5. Sweat collects in the sooty creases of his forehead and runs down his ruddy cheeks. It drips from the tip of his nose. His mouth moves, but his utterances make no sound. He is, for once, at a loss. Feeling your gaze, he quickly composes himself, wiping his forehead with the back of a dirty hand.
Worship the whims of some fickle bitch, and you'll never be more than dirt beneath her feet. Worship what she worships, on the other hand. Take her fire for your own, and her esteem comes on its own. Of course, by that time, you no longer need it. Trial and transformation, sure as Durance taught.
Durance glares at you. I always thought it was Durance, so I guess I gotta pronounce it Durance. Durance glares at you, and staring into his eyes gives you the feeling of peering over the edge of a great cliff.
You think to put the coals to my feet, but what's burned once will never burn again. These talks are your trial, Walter. You cannot deflect the truth to one who has already been purified by it.
Tell me what happened on the bridge. We chose the bridge because we could control it. Durance's hands tighten at the top of his staff, as if holding it by the neck. It was a place where we could choke Aethys in his own footsteps, where we knew his feet would fall, a narrow neck of stone. But it was more than that. It was a spine of the deerwood, symbolic of its backbone. Such symbols are important in the construction of a weapon. Durrance studies his staff, his eyes traveling along the etchings. Any weapon. Durrance's face hardens and his eyes burn, his eyebrows narrowing. I suspect Eothas knew that as well, and so did his vessel, in its arrogance. His hands tighten on the staff. He intended to walk upon the bridge as if walking on the backs of the deerwood, and we intended to burn him with the light of our faith, and his. 12 on the bridge, 12 in the shadow, and gave ourselves to it. Give yourselves to it?
We put much of ourselves into the Godhammer. Such a device is not simply a machine. There are elements of the spirit in it. Even Widewind's spirit.
Elements of the spirit?
Each of the 12 who brought the Godhammer forth would have done anything to save the Deerwood. Save its people. It is why we were chosen. Each of us hated this pretender. That rage, that spirit, that rebellion went into our work. And went into studying him as well.
Widewin. Why?
We all studied Widewin. He was our enemy, and he had provided the flesh the god wore as a cloak. That flesh made him vulnerable. I knew what fields his hands had tilled, his family, what he had harvested, where he had been born. We sought to know him, what had led him to fight us.
Why was that important?
You don't kill the god. You kill the man it inhabits. And you leave that man a ruin. Burn him to ash. The weapon was meant to not only burn his flesh, but it would burn his soul. And it did. At the cost of our own. And at the cost of our goddess's favor. That whore be damned.
Is that why your image was blurred in the dream? Durrance frowns, glances at you with a sharp look. Perhaps your eyes were blinded by the Godhammer's light, Watcher. He snorts. I may feel half a man at times, but even that is twice that of most others.
If you fear for my spirit, your fears are baseless. The Godhammer, seeing its light, only fueled my anger and made me stronger. Made me re-examine the teachings of Margaret. Put them in a new light.
It looked as if there was only part of you, as if your spirit had been sheared in half.
I do not need you to cast any more questions on me, Watcher. Nor did I ask you to look upon me without my leave. Get gone, and leave me be.
Continue to get to know Durrance. Durrance, sorry. Alright, so let us save. That was a long, drawn-out, exhilarating Durrance conversation. So let's
Steady does it.
continue exploring the Cave of Fire.
That's it!
Can't get a good shot with this.
Let's go!
Wonder what I'm doing now.
Sure.
It's causing that flame
Let's
blight
go.
to be friendly. It's got to be one of the abilities I have that's charming
That's
people.
it!
Or charming things. Rippling waves of heat rise.
Keeping quiet.
Ooh, golden duke. Golden duck? Duke? What am I even trying to look at here? Oh yeah, I was just curious how much that was worth. Whatever it is, I think we're close to the center of the chamber. Let's go ahead and save. Probably going to be a dragon, I would imagine. Oh crap. Kale the Silent. The drake cocks its enormous head, looking at you. It issues a stream of words directly into your mind. Glowing, burning spark. You, a Mawa thing. You come to take my spark, yes? What's the spark? The drake coils its body protectively around sun. Spark is an ember. Warm, glowing, beautiful. It turns its head to look at you, and out of one slit pupil. One day I will become a burning thing, bright and terrible like my spark. I didn't come to take your spark. Relax. Liar, the drake roars. You come to steal with your cold, dirty paws. Okay, so... You flames of devotion it. You knock it down. You are going to... We're head there. Well, everybody is starting out this thing, and then I'll peel them off as they run towards it.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys attack the Zora champion. You attack the young drake. You do that. Use your shield. You do another Flames of Devotion. I want you to do a knockdown on that. Is any of these a priest? Yes. You attack the priest along with your wolf.
How may I help?
The Varu beyond.
Okay, now you and your wolf attack the young drake.
Can't get a good shot.
Except for you. You keep attacking the young Drake.
That's it! Aye? Lava will be on seek!
Okay, you summon your drakes. You drakes start working on this young drake.
Can't get it.
Actually, working on that young drake.
How may I help?
Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Heal. Heal. Heal.
Lava will be on seek!
Mow it.
Knocked down. I need some time to recover. Good, 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 good. We need to take out this Drake.
Can't get a good
Let's summon another batch of Drakes. Okay, now this guy's toast. Magic missile. Everybody's attacking. You, I want to heal more. You knocked down again.
Yes? Lava will be on seek! Lava will... Lava will...
Easy peasy, not a problem.
Yeah. Keeping quiet.
Burning stone. I wasn't after your heart. You had to be difficult. On the ground where the dragon had curled around it, you find a stone that glows a brilliant orange. Yet is cool to the touch when you reach to retrieve it. Durrance catches a glimpse of it, and his eyes bulge out of their sockets. He scowls, his mouth puckered as though having tasted poison, and he spits on the stony ground. A horror's cruel jest. The bitch has always known where to sink her claws to get a rise out of me. What do you mean? The stone you carry. This is part of the bomb that destroyed Aothas, the God Hammer. What's it doing here? One wonders. The bomb blew big, but it would not have been sent fragments this far from the Citadel. The Drake must have carried it quite a distance, or Magrin merely put it here herself. You seem angry. For the first time, Durant seems to become aware of his demeanor. And as quickly as the head flared, it seems to recede until you start to question whether he had been angry at all. No, it is not anger, you see. I'm merely the victim of a divine practical joke. It seems. That will remain between she and I, Watcher, for only I am able to appreciate it. Is it worth anything? Ha! Ask Aothas. If you mean in terms of copper, there was a time when it might have been, but the markets soon became flooded with pieces of the Godhammer, most of them no more than the trivial enchantments of swindlers dabble in wizardry. Counterfeit. As there's never been a reliable way to judge a fragment's authenticity... Hey, Kira, stop causing trouble. And the would-be judges are often watchers. Questionable as the artifacts themselves, their value has plummeted considerably. Ask any shopkeep if he's interested, and he'll try to sell you his fragments instead. Tell me about the Godhammer. Ask me on the road, Watcher. I'm in no mood for it, with the horror's bitter perfume still clogging my senses. Let's bring it back to Frigga. You catch Durant scowling once more out of the corner of your eye, but he says nothing else.
Yeah.
Let's see what lies this way.
Let's see. You know there's going to be a hidden stash in a dragon's den. You just know it. Glanfathan Adreswin. That's pretty good. Let's give it to somebody and take a look at it. Kira, what are you doing? Stop getting into things. Let's see. So it has to replace a cape. This +2 lore, +1 perception, +1 resolve, +1 dexterity. Dexterity's pretty good. That's of will. Concentration. I want to see what concentration does. That's constitution, not concentration. Just not sure. Oh, this one can only be used by a ranger. Let's put it on him. Rippling waves of heat rise. You just keep searching along. You know there's going to be something secret. Well, there's the gold stash that every dragon is known for having. Maybe there's no secrets. But there is a trap.
I think I see something.
Cannot disarm trap.
Yeah.
Do you want to trigger it? Not with my whole
How may I
party
help?
right there. Sorry, Aloth, you're gonna be the guinea pig.
Indeed.
Knew that was gonna happen. Which is why you do not bring your whole
How may I
party
help?
in.
Nice and quiet.
Ruby Tiandra Tara. Translated as Andra's Tooth. These are large baroque pearls most commonly found and traded by Amala. I guess that's it. There wasn't really any secret stuff. But I could go turn this quest in. Oh, wait. I had no idea there was a hidden tunnel right, or like a tunnel right there. Let's see. Bring the spark to Frigga. Where was she? I think she was in the Temple of the Duke. Was that in Brackenbury or First Fires? I think it was in First Fires. Let's check there. I know she was been in a big place. She was in like a palace or something, and there's a room to the right as you enter the palace where they worship Magrin. Bright Hollow Lab construction complete. Azuro, an exotic wares merchant, has arrived at your keep and requests an audience. He was nearly set upon by brigands on the road, but your patrols intervened. Leaving in 8 days, 22 hours. Bright Hollow Lab is complete. Oh, hello, hello, meow, 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 meow. You're so loud, you don't have to scream meow. You could just normal meow and I'll hear you. Let's do the woodland trails.
You had 5 siblings?
That's right. House has known a single day's quiet. Of course, a little chaos makes it far easier to get away with mischief.
Yes, I can imagine that comes in handy.
Yeah, I think that was right here. Where Frigga was. Yep. Let's save our game and talk to her and see what she has to say. Syrian Falls is cleared.
How do you do?
Present the burning stone. I journeyed to Syrian Falls myself. This is what I found there. She takes the stone in her hands and gasps. By the flame, do you know what this is? Yes, it's part of the Godhammer, and I have a kitty that won't stop getting into mischief. It's amazing how cats always get into mischief, constantly. Dogs just sleep, eat, and play, and want to be loved on occasion. Cats, when they're not sleeping, they're getting into trouble. Would you stop? I just don't want her to get into something she shouldn't and hurt herself. It's a fragment of the Godhammer bomb. Yes, she turns in her hands, the very weapon that Magrin herself helped us build to defeat Waidwen in the Saints' War. She turns the stone in her hands, gazing into its bright glow. It's weird seeing it right in front of you like that. Before it was just stories. Never seemed real. Yet her mouth twists into a frown and the orange light carves deep shadows across her face. So why don't I feel any differently? What good does this do? Her knuckles whiten as she tightens her fingers around the stone. Let's go with option 3. Transformation through trial. She turns the stone in her hands. It isn't an easy answer, but I expect no less from my goddess. This woman hasn't been tried at all. Would that we were alone, I would take it upon myself to instill real transformation. As she looks at the statue, a flame springs from its raised hand. One of the things I have always loved about Magrin is her affinity for fire, how it grows and spreads. You feel the warmth from the fire rippling across the room. You've given me what I need. I'll make sure to give the people of Defiance Bay the support they need. Defiance Bay extraordinarily positive. Now let me give you something you might need. She disappears, returning quickly with something in her hands. A weapon worthy of the goddess herself. Please accept it as thanks for your service to Magrin and to me. What are you eating off the floor? Stop. There's no food there. Stop eating dust or dirt or whatever you're doing. What a weird cat. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. (18 to 26 crush damage). 30% of graze is converted to hits. Plus 8 actually blind. Stop getting caught up in my cord. I seem to fight a lot of spirits and primordials. Let's do spirit. Now, is this better than this, though? Well, I guess what we could do, damage is 18 to 26. 13 to 19. But it looks so cool. Speed fast, speed average. % attack speed, 25% burn damage. I don't know which is better. I think this looks cooler. See, this is a flail, and this is a mace. Let me take a look. Okay, does he have any... No, he does not have anything. I'm gonna use the mace for a while. I just think it looks cool. It attacks fast. Okay, so where to now? I do have a quest to go back to Caed Nua. Maybe I'll do that. Because there's also a visitor there. Let me assign her to that quest. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh. Well, that's... Let's see. 2:31 a.m. Dang it, I'm gonna have to go through the talking again. I accidentally canceled the quest, and the quest disappeared from my stronghold.
Huh?
So we've already talked to her, so we're just gonna kind of breeze through the conversation.
Good day, stranger.
Let's do spirits. I fight a lot of spirits. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Okay, let's head back to Caed Nua. I know I have a quest there. Besides the Endless Path quests. Speak to the mob in front
Keeps
of your
coming
great
along
hall.
nicely.
A mob? Mob might make me have to kill them. I want to do that. I wanted pay, so they set my crops on fire. When my boy tried to stop him, they knocked him over the head. He's alive, but he can't think straight no more. Your boy got lucky. My guards, good men both, got put to the sword after they'd surrendered. I paid those thugs what they wanted, but they still took everything I had. There he is, a woman points at you, all eyes in the crowd turn their hostile gazes upon you. Can I help you people with something? We don't need help, we just want you to leave us alone. We want justice. Go on. You sent your men to my farm to collect a crop tax saying we was overdue. For me, it was a road toll. I've been traveling up and down this way for years, and this was the first I've heard of such a thing. Other people in the crowd chime in with similar stories. What makes you think I sent these men? They said they were acting on orders from the Lord of Caed Nua. That's you. Those weren't my men. Then who were they? They weren't no common bandits. If this happens again, it's not on my orders. You heard it directly from me. Say we believe you. What about what we've lost? What about my crops? And my goods, and the families of my guards? I'll make these men face justice. You can count on it. Diplomatic. We appreciate that, but can you offer us any compensation? Just a little to help us get by, of course. He clears his throat and looks at you expectantly. Yeah, I'll give him money. Most generous of you, my lord. The villagers nod and smile at you, uttering thanks as they distribute the coins between them. Stronghold has gained 3 prestige. Ah, angry mobs, the inevitable thorn in every ruler's side, eh, Ponzeric? What brings you to Caed Nua? I have news about Lord Gathman. Let's discuss it in the Great Hall, away from curious ears.
Yeah.
I think I still have plenty of cash. I've been making a pretty good living.
Right.
The cat's finally laid down. Yay. Good tidings, my lord. I am a Zero, famed merchant, purveyor of many valuable and, dare I say, rare objects. And so I would like to remain. I have an urgent matter to discuss with you, something you'll want resolved as quickly as I'm certain. Very well, let's hear it. You call your allies together and motion for the petitioner to step forward. It's these bandits, my lord. The roads are absolutely crawling with them, and they have the local merchants in a fright. I'm having trouble filling out my stock. My suppliers say the risk is too great. Nobody wants to hear that the fineries sent out for delivery have been stolen by unwashed brigands. If I have no goods to sell, I cannot make a living, nor can I offer you the many special items normally at my disposal. I'll put an end to this. Yes, my lord, what is it you have planned? Zero watches you curiously, his hands folded eagerly in front of him. I would rather my allies take care of this then. Second thought, perhaps not. One of my allies to assist. Marvelous, I'd welcome such assistance. Oh, I don't want to send them away. I guess I could do this. I can make more money. I don't want to lose my teammates. My name is worth in these parts. I'll personally ensure the delivery and cover all losses that occur. This should allay any fears. Quite a more generous offer these suppliers have never heard, I'll warrant. Thank you. I'll have more goods to offer you in short order, I'm sure of it. Zero leaves the stronghold. So now I'm not wealthy anymore. Let's save a game before I talk to this guy. Marshal Forwin. Lord Ponzeric. I've received word that Lord Gathman is amassing an army of mercenaries near Yenwood Field. It appears a peaceful claim to Caed Nua is no longer possible. The Earl has sent me to aid you in forming your own force to counter this threat. I'm here in an advisory role only, of course. The Earl won't officially take sides in this dispute. Why won't the Earl officially legitimize my claim? It is a delicate situation. Legally, Lord Gathvin's claim is just, and he knows it. Stripping land and title from a noble family is quite dangerous, perhaps more so than killing the man outright. With Gathvin dead, the Earl only need worry about blood vengeance from family members that actually cared for Lord Gathvin. Those, if court gossip is to be believed, are few and far between. Losing a family claim to land and the title, though, such disputes incite hatred from the entire clan and their political allies, not to mention the unease it causes among the other nobles. Wars are started for less. No, if Gathvin is to be denied, it will be you who must prove your legitimacy to the Earl and all others who would dispute your claims. This is what it means to be a noble in the Dyrwood. If there's anything else you wish to know, please ask. Let's talk about my army. Marshal nods. Where am I getting my troops? I've sent out a call for volunteers from the lands around Caed Nua. Hopefully people will realize that being under your rule is preferable to that of Lord Gathvin's. Any hirelings stationed at Caed Nua will also accompany you to the battle, so I suggest you acquire as many of them as possible. However, most of these men and women have no military experience. Hopefully you can gain additional allies. The Knights of the Crucible, perhaps, or the Dozens. What's the status of my regular troops? The Marshal shakes his head. 2 green and 2 few. If you go up against Lord Gathvin now, losses will be heavy. However, victory is still possible. We need to recruit veteran troops. I know a company or 2 of veterans that would be willing to join us for a bit of coin. I'd say 10,000 coppers should cover the expenses. I don't have that much at the moment. What special allies do I have available? He shakes his head. No one has offered their help, I'm afraid. It may be possible to find an ally in Defiance Bay among the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, or if you're truly desperate, House Domino. It's probably going to be the Knights of the Crucible, then. I've also heard rumors of a force of Red Sarens currently in the White March. If you find your way that far north, perhaps you could sway some of them to join our cause. That's all for now. How much time do I have? Enough. It's rumored Lord Gathvin will suffer a series of unfortunate, completely unforeseeable setbacks before his army is complete. He grins and winks. Still, I'd not tarry long. I have a fortress with strong walls. Why not let Gathvin's army come to me? Lord Gathvin isn't fool enough to risk tearing down Caed Nua just to kill you, and if you shield yourself behind these walls, he'll have free rein to torment your subjects in the countryside. Earl Badimir will see your inaction against Lord Bathan as a sign that you're unwilling to perform your duties as Lord of Caed Nua. Losing his support will have dire consequences. Taking the fight to Lord Gathvin is your only option. Well, I'm not ready to fight him yet. Help Marshal Forward raise an army at Caed Nua. Stella Stones completed. The trip to Ixmitil Plains was largely uneventful, but Wild Eris discovered a grisly sight upon arriving at the Apahula Adra Circle. Over 50 locals had become permanently petrified among the stones. It took a few days of investigation, but Wild Eris learned that the abductions all happened at specific times of night and in a pattern for miles around the stones. With the assistance of an Apahula mathematician and philosopher, Wild Eris was able to expose the killer. An extremely powerful Adragan that had been protecting the Adra Circle for centuries. When Kith discovered the secret place, she'd been systematically stalking and petrifying anyone who lived within walking distance of the site. Wild Eris led a protracted battle against the creature with the help of locals.
It seems your fame is spreading. I have heard travelers speaking of your accomplishments in Defiance Bay.
If you'll forgive me saying so, it's a relief to find the keep in the command of someone more connected to the world. It's so easy to let things fall by the wayside. What is the state of the keep? I have to say, my lord, you've done an impressive job of restoring the keep's defenses. I don't think a mouse could sneak past these walls. Well, on to business. Alright.
Yeah.
better indeed.
Let's go rest in Blood Hollow. I've earned a rest. Probably gonna travel to Ancelog's Compass next. I've already been there, so I just have to go in and do the quest to get out. Two lore, 3 might, 3 perception, 2 survival. Let's do 3 might. Hervice finishes escorting Supplicant and returns to the stronghold. Good. That means I can level him up some. Let's put
You walk your
dismiss him
path, I'll
temporarily.
walk mine.
Need something?
You know what? Let me look at his skills, because if I'm not mistaken, he might be able to use that mace. Weapon focused peasant. Hatchet, spear, quarterstaff, hunting bow, unarmed. Hatchet, spear, quarterstaff, bow, unarmed. Oh, that might be something he can use. There's a club, a flail. Let's just take a look at all the one-hand weapons that are epic level for him. There's also a better piece of armor or gear for him too. Well, I thought there was. I thought I equipped it. Oh, here we go. He's... If I have another ring, he can use another ring, and he's also wearing medium armor. Some of this stuff might just be better for him. We'll see. Any rings? Doesn't look that way. Okay, so let's see. The spears are 14 to 20 pierce damage. This is 17 to 25, 10 to 15, 11 to 17, 11 to 17. Okay, so let's just see if I can enchant any of this stuff. Damaging 2. Alright. Compare. So he's wearing Aloth's leather armor. But that really helps Aloth, a caster. Okay, so let's see if we can enchant this. The answer is no. Alright, so he's in better shape. Doesn't look like there's any better helms available. Okay, so he's in better shape now. Let's level him up. Bunch of new spells. Okay, class abilities, bonus spells, or we could weapon focus. He's got a flail and he's got a mace. Just do a bonus 3rd level spell, I think. Okay. Now let's put Durance back in the group.
May Wal watch your step.
What?
Huh?
Alright. Anselog's Compass is where we were going to go next.
The keep's coming along nicely.
Need to make some money though. Starting to run low again. Anselog's Compass. 1 day, 2 hours. Alright, let's go. Meet Anored by the dock. Earned 795 copper pieces, lost 64 to bandits.
Huh? Huh?
There he is. Save our game and do our duty. You there, did Commander Cleaver send you? Well, yeah, why else would I be talking to you?
Greetings.
The woman sizes you up, squinting against the glare from the water. You've come from the Crucible Keep, I take it. I was told you have something for me. Tell me about what's happening at Fleetbreaker Castle. Her eyes narrow, but she eventually shrugs. You're obviously helping Commander Cleaver, so I suppose I could tell you. The High Justice has been gathering forces there. This mess with the Legacy, the unrest, and the man-eating corpses all over the Deerwood, it isn't going away anytime soon, and the dozens are using this as an opportunity for a power grab. She straightens. We've got to build up strength to defend Deerwood as well as our position here, and with these Forge Knights at our disposal, we'll be unstoppable. What's your role in this? I'm a commander stationed at Fleetbreaker Castle. I was sent to retrieve the research by the High Justice himself. She leans closer, and since you know what this research is all about, you can imagine how eager I am to get back to the castle quickly and quietly. Give her Vienna's research. Here it is. Excellent. I should get this back to the High Justice before... She looks over your shoulder at a sound of approaching footsteps. Too late. Get ready. Well, gonna be a fight. Paid bald. This man's face is twisted into a snarl. Are you mad? You hold the secrets to one of the foulest examples of animacy, and you want to hand it over to the Crucible Knights? He shakes his head. It's an abomination. Caged souls used as weapons, and you'd give these silk stockings an army of them. He raises his axe, tightening his grip around the haft. I can't let you do this. The research must be destroyed. Well, I am stoic. Raise my weapon. Kill them all. Okay. Okay. Is there... There's a priest there. Okay, so he can knock down this guy. No, because he's way the hell back there. He can Flames of Devotion this guy. No, he can't because they're reversed. You guys are in the wrong... You know what? Screw y'all. My guys just can't get there. Okay, finally, these guys can get into the action. Get them. Get them. You heal them. You knock down him. Oh wait, I don't want to. No. Nobody attack him.
How may I help?
Get a good shot at this.
I don't want to kill her. She's the person I was doing the quest for. Erenrode wipes her blade on the line of her cape. I'll take that as our cue to leave. With the dozens grown so bold, there's no time to waste. She strides back towards the waiting boat. Give my regards to the commander and watch your back out here. Ooh, I almost screwed that up because of the fireball. The fireball hit her and she became aggro. Luckily, I was able to run away and reset her aggro table. Alright, so just like that, that's return to Crucible Keep. So I have to go back and let him know the quest is done. Crucible Keep is in the first fires. Okay. Let's go finish this quest. Starting to get close to another level up. Cutthroat bandits will attack the stronghold in 6 days. Woodland Trails construction complete. Four days remaining, so I have to head back there and complete that. But in the meantime, let's see what's the cheapest option I have to build. 1,200 it looked like. Uh-oh, what's this? Defeat the Rogue Forge Knights.
That's not very helpful.
Can't get a good shot with this.
Big shock, animancy doesn't work right. Let's go clear out the Crucible Keep. Save the Crucible Knights from their own stuff. Crucible Knights are pretty much demolished.
Good shot at this. Let's go. That's it.
Can't get a good shot with this.
Huh?
Good shot. Got an arrow for this one.
This doesn't bode well for the Crucible Knights back home.
That's no.
I just sent this to them. So basically, everywhere I've gone, Animacy has done nothing but screw things up. That's nice. He turns from the forge, sending his hammer. He's not at the forge, though. I guess let's talk to Cliver and see what he has to say.
1 minute. My Justiciars were training the Forge Knights, and the next, they were being cut to pieces. But the survivors owe their lives to your skill. You fought valiantly, worthy of any seasoned soldier. In fact, I'm naming you an honorary Justiciar. As a reward for your service, please accept this blade and armor, worthy of a Knight of the Crucible. If there's anything else I can do for you, you need only ask. I'll send word to Fleetbreaker Castle immediately. We clearly didn't understand the Forge Knights as well as we thought. For now, we'll have to continue recruiting the old-fashioned way.
That might be for the best. The Forge Knights are obviously too unpredictable to use safely.
I'm glad you agree with my assessment of the situation. And if I'd listened to Dunstan, none of this would have happened in the first place. I won't make that mistake again.
So I got some new heavy armor. Who uses heavy armor? He does. That's only okay. It's the sword I'm interested in. This mostly helps if his endurance or damage fall below a certain point. It's just not as good. Alright, to the stash it goes. For now.
Mm-hmm.
Still not quite there. I need like another 3,000 experience. Still running low on cash. Okay, let's figure out where we're going to next. Let's see. Heritage Hill, Deerfoot Village, Stalwart. Craig Holt. I have no idea. Twin Elms, which I don't know where that is. Cliffs. Endless Path. Endless Path. Just travel. Endless Paths. I think where I'm gonna go is to Pearlwood Bluff. Wait. 6 days. I have 4 days left. Caed Nua first. Finish the battle. Then Pearlwood Bluff.
The keep's coming along nicely.
Manual resolve. Stop causing trouble, please. Stop getting into places where you're not supposed to be. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Let's go.
The keep's coming along nicely.
Sure.
Why does it sound like people are freaking out again? I think it's just a glitch. There were no crowds or anything there. Guess I'll know in a second since I'm leaving the actual keep. back into Caden.
Better indeed.
Well, why won't you stop? Get off the computer. Oh, I need to wait. I'm so low on cash as it is. Let's figure out where else to go. Oh yeah, it was gonna be the bluffs. Forum construction complete as Zoro leaves the stronghold. I can't afford to do anything else quite yet.
Do these look like the cliffs from your vision?
Let's go!
Small wind blight. I don't. Oh, there it is.
Will evade an ensemble.
That's not very helpful.
As you reach the edge of the bluff, you recognize the exact location from your vision of Persok. He was here not long ago. Sagani stands alert, the Adra statuette in one hand while she scans the cliff. You close your eyes, feeling the ether for some trace of Persok's presence. The darkness behind your eyelids takes shape. You feel Persok run through the forest this time, hurtling and dashing around rocks and trees. The scenery whizzes by too fast. You can't make out the details between the blurred greenery. Something looms out of the trees ahead of you. Persok finally stops in front of an Adra arch. Inspect the arch. You remember hearing about this place. Supposedly there's a row of Adra pillars nearby. Do you recognize a natural arch made of Adra? They got something like that out in Erglanvoth, across the water from Twin Elms. I know where to look for next for Persok.
Then I'll follow. In these visions, I don't suppose you're getting a sense for who Persok is now.
No.
At least we're getting closer. Seems like we've made more progress together than I've made in a year.
What was he like?
That depends on who you ask. I talked to everyone in Masuk before I left. I heard he was a strong leader, a dependable builder, a caring grandfather, a wise elder, a generous neighbor, a cunning negotiator.
She shrugs. Might as well be one of those impossibly perfect heroes from the Ader epics. People remember the things about him that matters most to them.
The odd thing is, many in Masuk weren't much older than me when Persok passed. And yet everyone wanted to make sure he heard about something in particular. Our trade with the Amawa, our successful hunts, peace with neighboring villages.
Persok accomplished a lot that affected all of Masuk.
It just seems odd that so few of us remember him beyond the things he did for the village. Most of his family members, the ones who knew him, are in their twilight years now. And Persok was too busy to spend much time with his younger relatives.
Perhaps this is less about him and more about helping your village move on.
Perhaps you're right. Anyway, what about this Theos character you're searching for? Seems like he was someone important to you. What do you remember about him?
I think he was an authority figure of some kind.
Not a lot to go on, huh? Hopefully you can pick up a few more clues about him while we're running around.
Enough chatter from me, or Persok will find himself a new body before we even get to this one. Wait, I need to discuss something else first. What's on your mind? I already talked about all that. Let's move on. So there's a stone there we can do something with. We'll come back to that. In the bay below, waves roll towards Defiance Bay. Something's got some heavy footfalls. A drake.
Can't get a good shot with this.
Following your... Stab!
Let's get it.
That's not very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go investigate that stone. But first we camp. Save our game and then take a look and see what this stone has to offer. A lively breeze ruffles your clothes as you approach the edge of the bluff. A cave mouth yawns from the cliff face. It's only a dozen feet below your position, but the weathered rock is too smooth to scale. A rock perches near the precipice. It feels like a sturdy anchor. Tie your rope to the rock, securing it with your grappling hook, and climb down. You fasten your rope to the rock and descend. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind whips along from the bay. You struggle to hold onto the rope as the breeze tosses you around. The wind picks up and knocks Aloth into the wall. Aloth loses hold of the rope and begins to plummet. Without hesitation, Connor reaches out and grabs Aloth. The weight wrenches Connor's shoulder but saves Aloth from certain death. Moments later, the gale subsides and you make your way to the mouth of the cave. Ooh, mystery cave.
Margren's fire casts light in dark places.
Let's just see where it leads. Where the opening is. Should have auto-saved when I entered. Yeah, let's... Yeah, there it is. I just wanted to see if it led out to a different part of the map or if it just automatically took you back up north.
I'll see what I can find.
Why won't you sleep, huh? Why do you keep having to assault the computer? Don't get your fur all over the computer. Stop it. Go. Lay down. You got a bed right there. You like the lion. Good kitty. Good kitty. I know you don't mean to get your fur in the computer or the electronics, but when you rub up against it, what do you think you're doing? didn't mean to switch that around. Oops.
Yes?
Oh, I increased the sphere again. Cool. Or the scepter.
I shall be discreet.
Oh, that's what was charming people.
Huh?
Ring of the Salonen. Ring of Wizardry properties. Oh, cool. That's a nice ring. Definitely good for him. Of resolve to overseen.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Where to now? Wild goose chase after this Persock guy. I guess let's go back and head towards Heritage Hill. That's one of the main quests, as well as close by. But first, let's go to the Goose and Fox. There's something about that dagger sold to a group of adventurers from the Goose and Fox. Might just be a group of adventurers I haven't talked to.
Well met, friend.
Do you know anything about a March steel dagger? He raises his eyebrows. Haven't seen anything like that cross my bar, that's for sure. He thumps the smooth wood countertop. But I wouldn't wager against someone here having a blade like that. Check upstairs. I saw a group head that way not too long ago, carrying plenty of steel. Thank you. I'll do just that. Save our game and head upstairs. Glad I checked.
Good day to you.
Did you buy a March steel dagger from Igrun? He displays the blade on a flat palm. I did, and a fine piece it is. I don't know of any more circulating in the city. Outside the steel and the Crucible Keep, of course. How much to take it off your hands? He turns the blade in the light, admiring it. Seeing as how there's a sudden demand for this, 100 pans seems fair. Let's do Resolve 14. He looks from the dagger to you and back in. Oh fine, but I won't take less than I paid for it. Pounds the table with a fist. I knew 50 pounds sounded too good to be true. Deal. Hands you a dagger hilt first. Pleasure doing business with you. Alright. Looks like we can level up Durance. I'm still going to call him Durance. It sounds better. I think it's Durance or Durance, but I think Durance sounds better. Spell mastery. Mastering a spell allows free use of that spell once per encounter. Wizards' mastered spells do not need to be in their grimoire in order to gain the free. Kind of like Armor of Faith. Let's do that. So I get a free one per encounter. Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go turn this quest into Gordy. I believe he was near the catacombs.
Sure.
Yeah, he was over here if I remember correctly. There he is. Gordy bounces on the pavement. Did you get it? Do you have the dagger? Can I see it? I have the dagger right here. Gordy stomps bouncing and stares at it, gaping in awe. In awe, it's so sharp. Toss him the dagger. Don't kill yourself or anything. Let's casually hand it over instead of toss it at him. Deal's a deal. Here you go. He snatches it out of there, heedless of anything else. He yanks it out of its sheath and holds the blade up to the light. I'm going to be just like the Crucible Knights, he saws and chops at the air. He flips the weapon into the air and grabs at the hilt, almost slicing his palm open in the process. His eyes dart away from yours as he sheaths the dagger. So about that secret, Gordy puts his hand up to his mouth and whispers loudly. I saw one of the actors hide something under a loose stone near the theater. Probably nothing as good as a Marchsteel dagger, though. Great secret. I already knew that. Tell me something else. He scratches his head and wrinkles his brow. Sometimes my dad goes to Andra's Gift without telling my mom. Someplace called the Salty Mast. Hopefully he's one of those ones that goes there just to talk about his feelings. Thanks for telling me, Gordy. Bye. Oh, that was a waste of time. But one more task completed. So, really, it's at this point we're on our way to Heritage Hill. Let's head there. Best turn around, traveler. Heritage Hill's closed.
Welcome.
The guard holds up a palm. Sorry, but the district's closed by the order of Duke himself. What's going on in there? Both guards look at each other. Look, even if I were allowed to tell you, I don't rightly know. All I could say is that whatever it is started about 2 months ago. The guards that closed the gate talk to something unnatural that still wakes them in the middle of the night. I don't want to know any more than that. Wyla sent me. I'm looking into the missing guards. Knights of the Crucible, +3. Glad to see she's got our best on the case. The guard glances at the gate. This place is eerie enough without a watch or two disappearing every week. I'll have the gate opened immediately. Just watch your step. I'm afraid we can't send anyone after you if this goes badly. Any idea what might have happened to the other guards? None, and I have no desire to find out, if you catch my meaning. The ones that disappeared weren't the deserting type. The worst part is, both times the watch disappeared, the next rotation found the gate unlocked. I don't know where they went in or whether something got out, but if it's the latter, refugees are going to be the least of our problems. Heard her saying anything unusual? Friend, I try and see and hear as little as possible. One of the women on the last watch said she heard someone shouting from the northeast part of the district, something that sounded like an order. But I don't see how anyone could survive in there. Once or twice I caught a glimpse of something moving on the other side of the gate. The guard shudders. I'd just as soon forget it. Farewell. Okay, that seems like a good stopping point. I'm gonna save my game. A little over, almost a 3.5 hour stream, so that's not too bad. But I'm getting tired and hungry, so I'm going to probably get some food in me. And then maybe some sleep. I don't know why it makes that loud noise every time I quit. But I appreciate everybody who stopped by to watch. I'm going to be heading out. Y'all have a good early morning if you're EST. It's almost 4 a.m. here. I'm ready to get some sleep. Alright, take it easy, y'all. Thanks. Have a good one. See ya.